There's even a moment where, in the last 20 minutes where she reaches up and she touches the actor's hand. And I started crying and I'm like, I don't actually know why this is making me cry.
Yeah.
But I know that it's important and I know that this is really touching. And so I just am going to cry. And like I saw it with like five of my friends and we were just on a row all together and you could just like it was surround sound sniffles.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go out in the hallway and we're still sobbing in the hallway.
Yep. Yep.
We need movies. Look, it is human nature to not want to feel our pain.
Yeah.
It really is. And what we do with movies and like theater and drama and narrative is we're able to confront our own pain in a safe way and achieve catharsis. And so we need it. We need movies like this that can help us feel our pain. The end.
Those last 20 minutes are going to be like cemented in cinema history because they're so impactful. Have you ever hopped on one of those Instagram things where it's like, show your last four films you've watched?
No. And that's just because I don't want people to know things about me.
You don't want to be perceived? Okay, no. I could see that. I was just going to say, I added mine, today. I was like, oh, might as well just check it out. Then you click and you can see everybody else's. And I think all it proves is most of the world's watching a random smattering of things all at once. I mean, mine, if we're going to go there, was Bruce Springsteen, the Deliver Me From Nowhere movie. No Other Choice, Director Park, Eternity, and Shark Tale. So, a nice four. Let me just tell you a few of the other people's that I thought were a little interesting. Wuthering Heights, Caveat, 28 Days Later, Hairspray, and The Wiz. It's been a week for this person. The Muppets Most Wanted, Bring It On, 10 Things I Hate About You, and Secret Agent. Okay.
Wow.
Diverse. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 2023, Hamnet, Shrek, and The Silence of the Lambs. Tonally all over the place.
Yeah.
Queer, After the Hunt, Train Dreams, and The Critic. Let's do one more that I thought was interesting. Wind River, Twisters, The Devil Wears Prada, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Wow.
All that to say, to think that any of us stick in one genre or one theme or whatever, even day to day, week to week, is silly. So it's good to have a nice mix of movies whenever we're talking about movies that you're looking to watch. And I think when it comes to the Oscars and Best Pictures, we're not always there.
Mm-hmm.
That sometimes we get stuck in the old Weinstein trapping of Oscar-y pictures. And do you feel like this year's nominees are a good smattering?
I mean, I guess like you got some movies in there that like really deserve to be in there.
For sure.
And then you get some movies in there you're just like, wow, how did this get nominated? How is this in the same category as Hamnet or as Train Dreams, And so I feel like, as not that superhero movies are dying down, it's just that they're in a hiatus, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's nice to see like just movies about stuff again.
Movies about stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that makes sense, but where it just like there's a lot of originality.
There is.
I feel like there's a lot of originality in the nominees this year.
Yeah, it always seems to go up and down where, we'll hit a franchise time like we have with superhero movies. And before this, there was Transformers for a little bit or Lord of the Rings. You'll have different ups and downs of Bunny Hills. I just think the superhero ones seem to have gone longer than we had for a lot of others. Maybe hearkening back to like the days of the Western and spaghetti Western when they kind of like owned cinema for 10, 15, 20 years. But to your point, yeah, there's a lot of different interesting ideas. Everything from a Frankenstein to a Scandinavian family trauma drama.
Yeah.
To a vampire, I wouldn't call it horror, but like a spooky thriller action movie with music. To the most quiet, serene Train Dreams that we're going to talk about for sure. To Marty Supreme and Timothée embodying the asshole that we all think he could be, but maybe is not. And then there's like an outlier like F1 where everyone's like, wait a second.
Yeah, truly.
That made it in here more than no other
Like,
choice, or okay.
how much did it cost?
Apple has the deepest pockets, so they had to get one in here, and I guess this was their one.
Yeah.
But let's go through the nominees a little bit, you and I, because we've watched most all of them. I guess it's good to call out our biases,
Mm-hmm.
and also just list the rest of the nominees. So let's just go from the top.
Cool.
Bugonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams.
I will say this is like last year. I don't know how many of them I saw last year. This is the first year in a while where I've seen most of these.
Yeah, I try to see almost all of them every year. The only one I haven't seen from our list this year is The Secret Agent. I hope to see in the next week or two. I think last year I did see everything, but I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, last year was an interesting list too. Honora obviously won, The Brutalist, Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part Two, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. So what a difference
Yeah.
one
So I
year
only
does
saw like
make.
three of those.
Yeah.
Wicked was nominated? That's crazy. How
See,
did I not know that?
year to year, it really changes, and you're like,
How does that belong in the same category as Dune 2? You know?
But the music, Madison, the
Uh,
music.
I'm sorry. I'm just a hater when it comes to musicals.
Yeah, it was a classic first half adaptation, and we saw the second half just crash and burn this year. Crash and burn being make hundreds of millions of dollars. So not a huge deal, right? But it did not
Yeah.
get any award noms. They've had their time. All right, we're moving on. Cynthia and Ariana are gaining weight again and not touching each other so much. So
Oh,
we're
thank God.
definitely moving on. Okay, well let's start. Let's talk about this year. Let's go from the top. Let's start at Begonia and march our way through. And I'm going to set a timer for us. We're just going to do
Hmm.
5 minutes a pop. We're going
Cool.
to keep them quick.
Cool.
Let's talk about Begonia.
What a quirky film. You know, here's colors amazing. This is such a
Oh, yeah.
colorful film. Like I just remember being like, "Oh, wow. It feels like all of our movies have just been optimized for our phone screens for really shitty small little screens." And because of that, this whole like HDR thing, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like movies pop or colorful or beautiful anymore. And this movie was beautiful and colorful.
It was, and the score. I know it's been all over TikTok and everywhere else, but the score was amazing.
Yeah.
Jesse Plemons riding his bike down that
Hmm.
whatever suburb road. Oh my gosh, like that was the most epic part of the movie, which is wild.
Did he get a nomination?
No, he was snubbed.
Oh my gosh. He this was his movie.
Yeah, it
Like
was.
the I the scene where he jumps across the table and crawls across the table.
Mhm.
I rewound that so I could watch it again because of how good it is.
It's tough when you see actors get nominated for a movie that you're like, yeah, they were good in that, sure, and then completely missed on movies where you're like, this was their opus. This is
Yeah.
their absolute beautiful, performance. He's just going to be nominated and win for something different years down the road. We're going to be like, this was a pity award for missing out on Begonia.
Yeah.
I do feel the same way about Zac Efron on the Iron Claw. That's just me, but
Hmm.
yeah, Plemons did great in this one. Emma Stone always delivers. Are we
Yeah.
gonna find out that she and Yorgos in 5 years were fucking this whole time?
Probably.
Probably. They just can't stop working together. They see something in each other which the rest of us don't understand, but it works, which is nice.
Yeah, I will say I think I liked Begonia more than Pretty Things.
Oh,
There's other stuff. Like
poor
I don't know,
things, yeah.
this is just Poor Things.
Hmm.
Like as far as a narrative goes, where you're trying to figure out like you've got a functionally crazy person who actually turns out to be very sane.
Yeah.
Kind of some of the corporate room dialogue where you're like, "Oh, is this movie anti-capitalist?" Where you're like, "I think CEOs and VPs are actually aliens with the way
Hmm.
that they treat and talk about people."
Yeah.
They're so far removed from everything the people like the rest of us on the ground that they're functionally aliens.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking the entire time.
And it's a good dialogue, if
Yeah.
nothing else. Now, of course, Yogos loves to like give you some meat to chew on and then also just fuck with you and be like, but hey, I'm going to do something really weird right here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, which I think is fun. It was a lot of a torture movie. It was a tough watch at many parts where I'm like, oh, we're just watching him torture somebody. Okay.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know if I fully was buckled up for that when I started. Box office, 45 million budget. They say 45 million, probably, sure, whatever. Pretty well reviewed. If the Academy wants like a really tour forward
Hmm.
satire discussion on capitalism, like you're saying, with Emma Stone star power, cool, it's going to win. Probably not. I'm going to give us the betting odds on each one of these. Not that I love the betting odds, but whatever else. It's so huge of a long shot. It's plus 8,000. You drop down $100, you're getting super rich. You know, you're going to buy a
Yeah.
house. Well, actually, you're going to buy a house in like Inglewood. Anyway, but that said, yeah, good one. How does it rank on your list? Near the top, near the bottom?
Probably like in the upper third.
Okay.
You know, it was an
I can
enjoyable
dig
movie.
it.
I liked it.
Yep. Probably similar for me. Did you watch F1? Moving on to F1?
Yeah, I did.
And?
I did not like it.
It wasn't an Oscar award winning Best Picture film.
No, this is one where I'm like, how did this get nominated? You know,
I think it's the Kaczynski effect. You know,
I
Top
guess.
Gun Maverick, Brad Pitt. It's the dad movie.
Look, Top Gun Maverick was amazing. Okay. And did it get nominated for Best Picture? No, it didn't. This is better. Maverick was better than F1 by heads and shoulders.
Yeah.
How did I don't know. I was watching this. I'm just like, what am I watching right now? And like, not that it's bad. It's just like it's so paint by numbers. It's not challenging. It just is like it's predictable in every single way. And I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah.
At a certain point, you just knew you were like, of course, the old white American would come in here and show everybody up and kick all their butts in a European sport that is so elite. No
Yeah.
one can just walk on.
Yeah.
So, yes, it did feel like extremely paint by numbers, Rocky 8, whatever you want to say it is.
Yeah.
It just was a great reminder of how many old white men are still in the academy. They've really
Mhm.
diversified it enough. But because I want to say that they're doing ranking vote,
Rank choice.
rank choice, thank you. Because they're doing rank choice, this was in a lot of old dudes' top fives. So it's going to be in there. Super, super, super long shot that this wins. But this is kind of my like evil conspiracy dark horse. I kind of think this pulls a green book, but I not that much. Like still 1 in a million, but I was like, if this did, it might just break the Academy. It might break the Oscars.
Yeah. I mean, if the
Can you imagine?
no, I can't. If this won Best Picture, we would need to burn the establishment down and start again because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm quite sure Brad Pitt, Damson Idris, Javier Bardem would be on stage breaking the Oscar over one of their knees at that
Yeah.
point. But yes,
Yeah.
good for Jerry Bruckheimer. You know, good for Jerry Bruckheimer for getting another film on the
Yeah.
stage.
I
But
mean, let me just like couch my criticism. I love Jerry Bruckheimer, Kaczynski, Brad
mhm.
Pitt. Like I like these are great actors in a functionally a good movie. You know, like it's not a bad film. It's just not. It doesn't deserve to be in this category.
It's a Papa John's XL pizza. It's got all
Yeah,
the right ingredients that you love
yeah,
everywhere else. Put together, you're like, sure, it's fine on a Friday night. But this is not Oscar award winning. This is not moving the needle when it comes to culture and art, which is what these awards are
yeah.
for.
And maybe it's just because I have such especially over the last year, just such a distaste for a certain strata of human class. You
Yeah.
know, and it's like
Mhm.
F1, the people participating in this, they don't know what it's like to be a person on the ground working normal day jobs like
No.
the rest of us. And I'm like, I don't need to watch a movie about them.
Nope. Nope.
I don't need to watch a movie about them.
Now, as one who loves F1, I enjoy the sport of it all. But yes, the movie when it first came out, when it first was announced, I was like, oh man, it's just a giant commercial. But
Yeah, it's like
this was
this is propaganda.
better than a giant commercial. It was more enjoyable, but yeah, not to this level. And we're gonna keep ourselves to 5 minutes. Now we're
Okay.
moving on to Frankenstein, if you will. Did you love reading Frankenstein in high school?
I didn't read
You
it.
didn't even read it.
I
Okay,
didn't
okay,
read it.
no. Did you watch Young Frankenstein? What was your Frankenstein knowledge before sitting down for
Yeah,
this movie?
watched Young Frankenstein.
Van
I don't
Helsing?
know, like yeah, watched Van Helsing. There's just so much Frankenstein saturation
Yeah.
in video games, comic books, cartoons. Like I'm sure I've seen Scooby-Doo dressed up as Frankenstein before. So like I'm very familiar with Frankenstein, enough to know that Frankenstein is the doctor and the monster is Frankenstein's monster.
Yep. Yep. That's the important knowledge here. I mean, Guillermo del Toro, are you a fan of his other films as well?
Oh, absolutely. Like Pacific Rim, hello. Like what a movie, What a film, what an achievement
What
that most
a
people just
film.
didn't get.
I was going to say, too, that's usually not the first one people bring up when we mention Guillermo del Toro.
I know it's not, but it's the first one I bring up.
See, I've never seen Pan's Labyrinth. I've only seen clips here and there, and it's just
Yeah.
a little much for me. Shape of Water, I saw in theaters.
Uh-huh.
Didn't think that should have won Best Picture, but I felt like once again it was an achievement Oscar.
Hmm.
I liked his Pinocchio stop motion. I thought it was fun. I don't know if it was like mind blowing, but it was very different and he had
Hmm.
style there. So when it comes to this Frankenstein, I was kind of like, oh, this is his passion project. He's always wanted to do. Let's see what he does with it.
Hmm.
And for me, it was a really good movie, but it wasn't great in my mind. It
I would,
wasn't
yeah,
Best Picture.
I would agree. Again, like colors, beautiful. Set design, beautiful. Costuming, awesome. I don't know. Should it be Best Picture? Probably not. Probably
Yeah,
not.
I think it's finding its own award among horror fans and production design and the rest of that stuff. Agreed. The actual Frankenstein's lab looked amazing.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac was doing his own thing in some random world of acting with his accent and his
Hmm.
affectations and him being kind of gay and
Yeah.
just a lot going on.
Hmm.
Snapping his leg in half.
No.
Ooh,
Yeah.
just there was a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it was Best Picture. Well done, Guillermo del Toro. You did your thing. I hope he goes on to do something totally different next time, which
Yeah.
is, what he said he wants to do. Let's go to Hamnet.
Oh boy.
Cue Max Richter's On the Nature of Daylight. Du-du-du.
Yeah. Like, so this is a movie that clearly belongs in this category.
Sure
Okay.
does.
It belongs in this category, not just because movies that make you cry are good contenders, but movies that are a what's it called? A canvas for actors to portray to give everything that they're capable of giving to a movie
Yeah.
deserve to be in the category of Best Picture. This is one where Jesse Buckley, Paul Mescal give the whole range of what they're capable of giving on screen.
Yeah.
And it's just really good. Like, and not that like, cause I wrote some comments of it being like, this is grief porn, right? Or this is a little bit
Yeah.
masturbatory in the grief, but like, no, it's not. No, it's
It's just
not.
grief.
This is just grief. We're just looking at it, and it's uncomfortable for people to look at
Yeah.
because it forces us to confront the fleeting natures of our own lives. But yeah, this is what I think of when I think of a Best Picture category movie.
I saw one reviewer call it peak Academy catnip.
Yes.
They were like, it's got literary prestige, it's got tons of emotion, it's got some of the best performances of these younger actors' careers, but they're not too young to give
Hmm.
awards to. It's got Chloe Zhao, who already has Oscar movies under her belt, as well as an attempt with Marvel at the Eternals, and kind of her like saving grace coming back here and doing an Oscar film, produced and with help from Steven Spielberg and oh, who else? Jim Cameron, maybe J.J. Abrams. She really like had a lot of input from big names. Sam Mendes, not J.J. Abrams. Anyway, $17.5 million box office. This is not moving the dollar needle for anybody.
No.
But to your point, this is one of those movies where you're like, oh, 10, 20 years, people will still be watching this. They will not be talking about F1
No.
or Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. This will be one of those movies because, yeah, Jessie Buckley in this, at least for me, I've already been on that train for years of like every
Yeah.
movie she's in, she makes better. This is her amazing character study movie of,
Yeah.
damn, this woman can act.
Yeah.
And Paul
And
wasn't nominated.
he wasn't?
No.
Unbelievable. Is it like, are we like just against white men right now?
It was kind of a stacked category with Benicio del Toro,
Yeah.
Jacob Elordi, Delroy Lindo, Sean
Yeah. Okay.
Penn, Stellan Skarsgård. I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
only 5 supporting actors, but
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, this movie is beautifully shot. You know, the colors are good. They're not quite as good as Bugonia, but you know,
Yeah.
that's probably an intentional choice, I'd say. Just the imagery of like, I don't know, look, Hollywood loves movies about movies, and
Uh-huh.
this is before movies. So this is a movie about plays.
Yeah.
And we love metatextual masturbation, basically. And that's what this is. This is a metatextual masturbation. Um, and it's really, really good. There's even a moment where, you know, in the last 20 minutes where she reaches up and she touches the actor's hand.
Hmm.
And I started crying. And I'm like, I don't actually know why this is making me cry,
Yeah.
but I know that it's important and I know that this is really touching. And so I just am going to cry. And like I saw it with like 5 of my friends and we were just
Uh-huh.
on a row all together and you could just like, it was surround sound sniffles.
Hmm.
And then we go out in the hallway and we're still sobbing in the hallway.
Yep. Yep.
It was just really good.
I mean, that's kind of been everyone's experience. I watched the screener that we were sent at home. Kind of my mistake. And I won't repeat the story or else my wife will kill me. But, I felt it really was impactful. She fell asleep during some of it, didn't feel it was so impactful. But I really want to go back to theaters to see it again now that it's playing again here in LA because I want that shared grief moment. And I want that moment to see everyone else's reaction and kind of experience it together. I'll say those last 20 minutes, I know a lot of, who was it, Kate Blanchett? There was some actress recently who talked about those last 20 minutes are going to be like cemented in cinema history
Yeah.
because they're so impactful. And yet I've talked to a lot of people who didn't find it that way or don't want to see it because they feel like it's just grief porn. So to all listening, watch this movie. Watch this movie before or after the Oscars. Please watch it.
You like, okay, we need movies and we'll talk about this with Train Dreams as well. Look, it is human nature to not want to feel our pain.
Yeah.
It really is. And what we do with movies and like theater and drama and narrative is we're able to confront our own pain in a safe way and achieve catharsis. And so we need it. We need movies like this that can help us feel our pain. The end.
The end. I know I'd love to like dig into what those last 20 minutes mean, but we're going to save that for later. This will be a sacred text for a year from now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another wonderfully emotional, impactful movie that's just all about grief. Marty Supreme. You have not seen this yet?
I have not.
Okay,
And honestly, and here's why. Can I tell you why?
let's hear it.
I don't know how I feel about Timothée Chalamet anymore. You know, like
Yes.
last year we were loving him. He was a meme on TikTok. Like he did so good. And I don't know if it's just the press tour that he's been doing with Marty Supreme. I'm just like, oh, homeboy's drinking his own Kool-Aid.
Once seeing the movie, it just makes you wonder if he's just doing the bit of the character in real life to like break a fourth wall, or if he actually is like that right now. And I
Yeah.
will say that's kind of my confusion. My confusion is like, oh, I don't know if he's just doing a bit for the Oscar run or if he actually is this way. I don't know.
Either way,
Yeah,
I don't
it's a
like
lot.
it. I don't like
It's
it.
annoying.
You know, that one. I mean, I know this isn't about the movie, which I haven't seen, so I can't comment on it. But I can comment on things I've seen about him. But the one clip of him saying like, "I've just been delivering like generational performances over and over again." I'm just
Oh,
like, dude, settle down,
yeah.
take
Yeah,
it easy.
I can't tell if something snapped in him, like a little Joaquin Phoenix-ish, or if he is just playing a bit. But either way, yeah, it's not likable for those of us who,
No.
I don't know, want some humility or like deliver a good performance and smile and say, what a great cast and crew. Instead, it's
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm the badass. Okay.
Yeah, it's because like I think what we liked about Tim whatever before is
Mhm.
we had those like home movies of him like doing his high school dance routines on stage, and it's like, oh, he's one of us.
Yeah.
And then you remember he's dating a Kardashian or Kylie Jenner,
Yeah.
and then he talks like this, and you're like, oh, he's not one of us anymore.
Yeah.
He's left us. He's no longer a part of us.
We'll
And then
see
you're
if he
sad.
wins. You know what? He's got a good betting line to win Best Actor,
Hmm.
but he's against Leo DiCaprio, and I
Who
just don't
famously
know.
has only ever won one.
True. And he's nominated again, which to me, I could just see the old whites, especially, really loving Leo in this role and pushing him
Yeah.
forward
Yeah.
when we're talking about the Academy. That's just,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay. Well, the movie though, you've seen it. What are
The
your
movie. You seen Uncut Gems?
no?
Oh, guy, you don't love super stressful movie about really
No,
bad
I
people?
don't like super stressful movies.
Yeah, these are not your type of movies. Really stressful
No.
movies about really bad people making consistently bad decisions that you would never make and therefore be really difficult to watch. So Marty Supreme is the same kind of thing. You understand that Josh Safdie from Uncut Gems was much more about the piece of shit guy who just is having a hard time.
Yeah.
Benny, who went off and made that movie with The Rock, was doing something very different.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's a good movie. You can say it's good. It's shot well. There's interesting things done with the camera. Some I don't like, but I can say are interesting. Like having a middle shot, like the midsection of someone's body walking in, blurred. Like it looks like they just did something wrong, but instead it's like meant to like show the stress of the situation. This movie is like a dream because we're supposed to see this guy playing ping pong, fighting to play ping pong. Instead, we see everything but ping pong for most of the movie. He's having sex with Gwyneth Paltrow, the actress. He's trying to return this man's dog. That there's something that happened at a hotel at one point. I don't know. There's this woman who really wants to be with him, his old childhood friend, but she's already married to somebody else. There's that whole thing. There's just all these random little turns. He gets in with the head of a massive pen empire who wants to sell pens to Japan. There's just all these random things going on where you're like, I'm stressed trying to follow this guy's stressful story. Okay. So your hands are clammy the whole time and you're not really sure what's going on. By the time there's like a crescendo of sorts and a climax, it doesn't feel, at least to me, all that triumphant. And then
Hmm.
the very end of the movie has been extremely, extremely divisive. Have you heard anything about the ending?
Yes.
Okay. For anyone listening, skip forward 1 minute if you don't want to hear about this. I got in a fight with my mom about the ending because we had a complete disagreement. At the end, childhood best friend, now soon to be kind of wife, who knows what, has just had his child, who we found out is his child. He stands by her bed and she's like, "Don't leave me." And he's like, "I will not leave your side." As her eyes close, he walks away and walks over to the NICU to look at the babies. And he like has a single tear come down and he smiles. Now look, my mother and so many others like her were like, oh, every man just needs a child to step up. Anyone else is like, are you kidding me? This guy is a puke and he's so self-serving. He gets addicted to one thing at a time and he goes all in until he's burnt out. Then he completely ditches it and leaves it. He shows the whole movie he does that. So it's tough to watch the movie because if you like, I
Hmm.
don't know, are willing to call a spade and not have some hope for humanity, you're like, this guy's still a puke. It doesn't end on a happy note. But a
Yeah.
lot of other people are like, oh, redemption in the last minute of the movie. No.
He's on to the next thing. He's on to his next drug.
He's on to his next drug. Also, Josh Safdie should shut up in some of these interviews because he told everyone at one point he wanted the movie to end with like a vampire twist. And I was like,
Oh, right.
no, just tell us you had a bender. Tell us you had a day
Yeah.
with cocaine while writing the ending, okay? You
Yeah.
don't have to tell us what it was going to be. Just say
And
I
then like
had a
what
rough
if
weekend.
what if he was a vampire the entire time?
Thank you. It's just boys on a Friday night at 1 a.m. being like, oh, what if? We don't
Yeah.
need that. Nobody needs that. Marty Supreme, I don't think it's going to win Best Picture. Timmy has a good shot, but I kind of hope he doesn't win Best Actor.
Me too. Homeboy needs to be humbled.
Yeah. He has Doom Messiah coming out. Give
Yeah.
yourself a year, Tim. Give yourself a year.
Hopefully that regrounds him.
We could hope. We could hope. Speaking of being grounded, one battle after another.
Yeah. Okay, so this is another one that I feel like belongs in this category.
For sure.
It certainly belongs in this category. I remember when it came out, TikTok was it just TikTok couldn't shut up about this movie, you know? And so I went into it with incredibly high expectations because of that, because it was like everyone was calling it the best movie of the decade. And here's what I'll
Yeah.
say. It belongs in this category. It is not the best film of the decade. There's no chance that this is belongs in the conversation about best film of the decade. Just get real.
Now, when they say best movie of the decade, are they saying best movies of the 2020s thus far? Or are they saying of the last 10 years?
Yeah, I don't.
Not that
Either
it really
way,
makes a difference.
that
Yeah, okay. One battle after another versus Oppenheimer. Maybe we thought Oppenheimer was too good. I don't know.
versus Dune 2, like
Versus Dune 2. Spider-Man No Way Home.
no way. I mean, across the Spider Verse, no,
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
dude, get real. I mean, it was a good movie.
It was a really good movie. And especially
Let's not.
this year,
Yeah.
there wasn't a ton. I mean, even with this category that we're looking at right now, seeming stacked to some, there wasn't a ton on its level of like great filmmaker, amazing cinematography,
Hmm.
good score, big actors, timely subject matter.
Yeah.
We didn't have a ton of that.
Yeah. I mean, kind of timely subject matter because, like,
Kind
ultimately,
of.
the movie's about a group of revolutionaries who do a thing, and then
Yeah.
we watch, the consequences like 15 years later. And the movie's not necessarily about revolutionary activities. It's about the people who have previously done revolutionary things. And we have to watch them cascade through the awkwardness of like, oh, the government's after you and like blah, 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 blah. And so it's not necessarily about revolution.
Yeah, it's not about that. That I guess is the hard part. We see revolutionaries being taken by cops or the military, and then we're all like, "Oh yeah, it's the same thing happening with ICE," which is different. To your
Yeah.
point, I mean, it was overhyped by some for sure, but also
Yeah.
did deliver. It has the best odds. If you put down $100 on this to win, you'll get $37. That's kind of how the betting odds do. You'll get
Yeah.
a little extra on top. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Do you think Leo wins? Do you think Sean Penn Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro wins?
Honestly, Sean Penn did a great job.
He did.
Like you forget that you forget that he's Sean Penn.
Yeah.
Like with Leo, you don't forget that he's Leo when you're watching this, but you forget Sean Penn is Sean Penn in this, and like that's really good. And he's really scary, and he's a really good like avatar of a certain kind of person that exists these days. You can
Yeah.
see on the news, like he does a really good job of capturing this, where you're almost like, is Sean Penn evil? No, he's playing an evil guy.
Yeah, it's hard at times. It's like a thin veneer almost. You're like,
Yeah,
wait. And I will say too, for like actress in a supporting role, I want to say Tiana Taylor has the lock, but I don't know.
yeah,
Facing Elle Fanning and Inga Ib's daughter Lilias from Sentimental Value. I don't know. But that said, this is probably the lock if we had to say there was a lock on Best
hmm
Picture. But the next film, or no, not next film, that's a little further down the line. Sinners could be neck and neck. We'll see what happens. It could be a big letdown. It could not be.
yeah.
One Battle is a great movie that will be watched for years to come.
And
I
studied by film bros for years
and
to come.
studied by film bros for years to come.
Yeah.
Having driven those bunny hills in California,
Hmm.
out like Antelope Valley and the Palm, high desert, it was fun to see them in the film like this and be like, oh,
Yeah.
the number of times I've done that trying to speed to Vegas, that's very fun.
Yeah.
In 20 years, will it be looked back at like we look back at like All the President's Men? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
But also, doesn't really matter at the moment. Good movie, good chance to win, great cast, all
Yeah.
pretty well nominated. Other than Chase Infinity, which I wish she would have been. I get that she's young. Hopefully, she gets another couple big roles, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. The Secret Agent, neither of us have seen.
Yeah. Haven't seen it.
Wagner Moreau, was great in Civil War. He's great in everything he seems to be in. I will say good job on this getting nominated for a Brazilian film. Okay, it's in Portuguese. I just it has gotten so much traction in the last few weeks to month. It's kind of surprising to me, and it could
Hmm.
pull out some big win. I don't think it's Parasite winning over everything else like it did in 2018,
Yeah.
2019. But yeah, from what I've seen, good. It's on my list. I've requested a screener. Hopefully, we'll get it next week or two and then watch it. But go Wagner Moura.
Yeah.
The Brazilians I know love it, so good on them. Sentimental value. Let's talk about our people's heritage. Let's go back to Scandinavia. Have you seen this one yet?
No, this is I did not get to see this one.
I have some friends who say it's their favorite film of the year, favorite film of multiple years, and have like
Really?
totally changed their lives. Didn't do that for me. I might have to give it a second watch to really get all the things. It's great. It's very Scandinavian. It's very like
Hmm.
Higa, an opposite of Higa, like let's be comfy, let's be uncomfy in the same
Yeah.
exact time. Very much about like a house and a place and a family's legacy there and trauma and how that all
Yeah.
builds up. Daddy issues to the extreme. We love a Skarsgård. Still, Skarsgård does a great job.
They're
I
having
will
a great
say,
moment.
having a great moment. Elle Fanning got the nom, as did Inga Ib's daughter, Lilias. But I really think Renate Reinsve, which is one of the other sisters, the two Scandinavians steal the show for me. They're
Hmm.
so amazing. Elle Fanning does great, and I will say, like, good on her for getting the nomination. But I don't think, in my eyes, she was as great as the other two.
Hmm.
This has some really emotional moments. Some moments when you realize, like, a father has not been in his child's life as much, and okay.
Hmm.
Do I think it's my favorite of the year? Definitely not. But
Yeah.
it's quiet. It's very quiet, which we'll see more of soon. Let's talk about Sinners then.
Yes.
Is it just getting the noms and no wins?
Look, I think it's a possibility that that's the case.
Yeah.
It's a real possibility. Ryan Coogler, generational filmmaker,
Yeah.
and he's someone who like, you know, would never say those words about himself, which is
Hmm.
why he deserves to be called a generational filmmaker. He's really good, and not just because like the I think what I loved about Sinners so much is how much attention was put into the filmmaking process,
Yeah.
right? It was filmed on IMAX film.
Hmm.
They underexposed everything on purpose. There's so much intentionality brought to every like aspect to it that it's clear that Ryan Coogler, not that the other directors don't, but that Ryan Coogler brings a lot of love and passion to the craft.
And it doesn't feel, how do I say this? It doesn't feel annoying.
No.
Like sometimes, and I like a Tarantino movie, but sometimes you get Tarantino on an interview. It's like, well, I was watching this Japanese man, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like too much. And you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Go back to working at your old Blockbuster, dude. Like, just like
Yeah.
shut up for a second. You don't get that with Ryan Coogler. It's definitely much more an air of like, he doesn't encyclopedize the films and then just spit facts at you like a little kid
Hmm.
with some tism. Instead, he's like, hey, you know what? This is part of me. This is what I do. You're going to see it in the movie what it is that I like and what I'm trying to
Yeah.
do here, which I definitely appreciate. And hearing him talk about things of like having a second unit for the first time in filming and how different that was. Like he was breaking some of his own boundaries, in addition to the obvious of him using Michael B. Jordan for two characters
Yeah.
and all the struggles that would cause.
Hmm.
You got to give it to him. Like you said, the craft is next to none.
Yeah. I mean, and part of it is I feel like Ryan Coogler is one of us.
Yeah.
Like, like he just feels like he's one of us. He hasn't been corrupted by the prestige of the industry, right?
Yeah.
And also like the story, the movie itself, it's about vampires. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yep.
Like it's not about Formula One driving or it's not grief porn. Like
Yeah.
it's a cool movie that's fun about vampires. I mean, I guess Frankenstein was about Frankenstein, but I don't know, maybe it lacked a cool factor for me in the way that this one is just, it's a cool movie.
And to your point, Frankenstein's been told and retold and incorporated and redone so many times.
Yeah.
This feels different. This
It
feels
feels
different.
original.
Now, I will say it was overhyped for me, so I put off watching it for weeks. Then I watched it,
Mm-hmm.
and I still had some issues. I was like, plot wise, this is weird. XYZ. I was kind of picking it apart because everyone loved it so much. And I
Mm-hmm.
knew in my head, I was like, all right, I gotta let that bullshit go past and watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Went to a press screening with two friends from work and seeing it with a little theater of people at a Beverly Hills screening room. I was like, oh, okay. On the big screen with the big sound and other people laughing or getting into it, or like the song, everyone's kind of dancing and bopping around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a little more of what I needed to fully get what this movie was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But the Academy struggles to give genre first movies
Yeah.
Best Picture. They just really, really struggle with it.
Yeah.
Like luckily Parasite wasn't full thriller. It was like thriller discussion, political commentary.
Mm-hmm.
This is like still has a lot of commentary for those who are willing to look into it or like
Yeah.
take a second to think about what's being said. But just saying it's a vampire movie scares half the audience away
It
in the
does. It
first
does.
conversation.
Yeah, and a lot of people think that like it's a horror movie. Like I know my parents, my mom was hesitant to watch it because she doesn't like horror movies, and honestly, neither do I. But this is so far from being a horror movie
Yep.
that like it's a character movie
Yeah,
that
I just told someone at
happens
work the other day.
to feature vampires.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like horror either. I'm trying to get myself into it, but this is not horror at all. The jump
Hmm.
scares are not even at the horrific parts. Like we'll tell everyone there's a snake scare that is so silly that you're like, ah, come on, why'd you do that to us? But yeah, not a horror movie. And you're not watching 28 years later. It's totally different. The
Yeah,
music's amazing. The cast is great. I mean, Michael B. Jordan, of course. Haley
yeah.
Steinfeld, fantastic. I can't remember his name, but the kid who plays the young musician is revelation. This is like one of his first roles.
Hmm.
And he was playing music for real. He learned how to play guitar and was really doing it. So
Wow.
good on him. I could see Delroy Lindo winning for supporting on this one.
Hmm.
That could be one of the wins it gets if it doesn't get many others. But Sinners, what do you think? What's the shot you think this has versus
I
one
don't
better
know.
movie?
I feel like again, this is probably in I don't know the top third, top quarter. Like I think this has a real shot at it, especially because of how nominated it is. Like I think being as nominated as it is might be like a consolation prize
Yeah.
instead of giving the movie the actual award.
Yep.
But I don't know. I think there is a version of reality where this gets the best picture, and I think it deserves it. If it did get it, it deserves it.
And seeing all the nominations and the fact it got nominated so much, I could see the Academy voters being like, oh, it's that beloved? Well, now I have to vote it because obviously the people like it this much.
Yeah,
I could see that swaying some more people, but we'll see.
we'll see.
$362 million box office. I was saying this to someone the other day. If this movie had come out in 2012 or 2014, it would have been a great movie for the year. We would have moved on and probably wouldn't have gotten
Hmm.
much past that. But I think in our current climate, like we've talked about film wise, this feels much more impactful and big and monumental because we've been in remake land or
Yeah,
in comic book movies or a lack of new and original ideas because studios are scared.
yeah.
So, for that reason, I wouldn't mind it winning Best Picture.
Hmm.
But that does take us to our final film. That's the response I wanted from you. Let's talk about Train Dreams.
Oh, let's talk about it.
This is the Madison. I was watching it and I was like, he's gonna move to the forest. He's gonna fucking move to the forest.
Okay. So the day that I watched this, I'd taken a bath. So I was like, I
Oh
was in
my
the
gosh.
bath and I was just like, I just want to watch something light. I just want to watch like a comedy. Like, I don't want to have to watch these freaking
Yep.
like Oscar nominated movies. And I was like, fine. So I sit down, I start it. Dude, when I say that I didn't pick up my phone once,
Yeah.
I didn't pick up my phone once. And I know that that's like terrible. Well, no, it's not terrible. It's like it's a real indication of how what streaming has done to us is
Yeah.
when we're watching movies at home, it's second screening and I hate that it happens and I hate that that I participate in it. I didn't pick up my phone once for this movie. It is beautiful. It takes like the beauty of the cinematography of Bugonia and mixes it with the emotional realism of Hamnet, and
Hmm.
it puts it over the story of just a man's life in the turn of the century in northern Idaho who's a logger.
Yeah,
And that doesn't sound like a riveting story. And it's not that the story is riveting, it's just beautiful.
it's beautiful. I was trying to describe it to someone, they were like, sell me on it. I'm like, well, he was born in the late 1800s, early 1900s. He misses the war and he's working in the forest. And they're like, and I was like, well, in the last 10 minutes, I just can't even go there. You know what I mean? Like, you have
Yeah.
to experience it for it to make enough sense. And to your point, it could be seen as like a boring movie for someone who has no taste. Uh, sorry to all those who don't like this
No,
movie,
true.
but it's so beautiful and it's quiet. And I wish now, knowing from our work in anime,
Hmm.
I wish we had more Western. That sounds terrible. That's already a bet. I wish we had more American slice of life and
Yeah.
movies like this
Hmm.
to just like say, observe a life, take a look at it, because that's what this movie does. It's not like all, shoot 'em up, boom, 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 someone gets stolen. No, it's like this was a man's life, and take a look at what it is, and then
Yeah.
think about your own. And it really does a lot to make you think, maybe too much at times, but yeah, it's a quiet masterpiece.
Yeah. Cause this is, I think how my review of this, or my selling point for this movie, or my pitch is this is a movie that makes you want to live.
Yeah,
Like it points you back to your own life, and like being that it is a movie about just the life of a guy. In that simplicity, it turns a mirror, and that's what movies are so. That's what we need movies for. We need movies to be a mirror to
yeah,
turn our vision back on ourselves. And like honestly, this is my best movie of the year.
yeah.
This is
I
my
can
best
see it.
movie of the year because, like, sure, one battle after another, whatever. Okay, cool. It's done some really prestigious film things, cool, whatever. It's not a movie that makes me want to live. It doesn't turn me back to myself and to the magic of my own life and say, okay, now go live. And this
Yeah.
movie turns you back to the magic of your own life and say, and holds you by the hand and says, now it's your turn, go live. Like that is what I think movies should do. Like, you know?
And the voice telling you to go look, the narrator, Will Patton, which people will
Yeah.
remember from Remember the Titans, among so many other things.
Hmm.
I loved his audiobook reading of On the Road by Jack
Hmm.
Kerouac. Listened to that a few years ago. But him and the way in which he has a tiniest little lisp and talking his way through this movie. Robert Grenier was born, but I'm like, oh my God, narrate my life. You know what I mean? Put
Please.
you in
Yeah.
my headphones, narrate my life of like, and then he took a shit, then he went and bought Chipotle. Like, just give me whatever. It would make it so much better. Also, Felicity Jones, we've already known as a great actress, but
Yeah.
oh my gosh, is she so lovable and believable and
Yeah.
human in this? William H. Macy, which I
Oh
haven't
my
seen in a
gosh.
lot in the
Yeah.
last few years, I
Yeah.
was like, what?
Yeah.
He has this in him and no one's tapped in a few years. Um, and you know what? Since we keep talking about Formula One, Carrie Condon, who is Brad Pitt's love interest in F1, is Claire Thompson in Train Dreams. She's in two Best Picture nominees this year.
Oh
Go
wow.
her, go Ireland. Like she does a great
Yeah.
job, and she's so good in this. In her, I want to say, kind of smaller role
Hmm.
compared to Felicity Jones, but she just does a great job. It's
Yeah.
every person he meets and every little snapshot of his life. It is so personal and so beautiful. Yeah, put your phone down and just watch it. Put your phone down and watch it. I wish it wasn't just on Netflix. Like I'm glad in LA it's
Yeah.
at theaters. It should
I
be on a bigger screen.
I wish that I could have seen this in theaters.
Yeah,
Just because it's also beautifully shot.
beautiful. Yeah.
Like I know it's supposed to be set in Idaho, but it's like filmed in Oregon in the
Mhm.
forests surrounding that. But like I don't know, it's one where I'm like, man, how can I become a man with a shed, a tool shed in my backyard? I want a tool shed that's musty and smells weird, and I want to be the guy that's like, oh, I need to roof my house, I'll do it myself. I need
Mhm.
to cut down a tree, I'll do it myself. I need to build a house, I'll do it myself. How do I become that guy? I'm so far from being that guy.
When he and Felicity Jones are on their little picnic blanket by the river,
Oh my
there
god.
was a moment that just pricked my heart in which I was like, this is humanity. Like, this is what we've lost. Look what they've taken from us. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. Brunch with mimosas can be fun sometimes.
Yes.
God damn it. Give me a blanket by a river with no one else around. Let me lay it out and let's talk about if we're going to have kids or not. You know
And
what
we're
I mean?
gonna
Like,
take
let's
river
have
stones and we're gonna put out the dimensions of our log cabin right there. And
right there.
uh,
Yeah, we've lost something. Just a little bit.
what have they done to us?
What have they done to us? His episode, Joel Edgerton's episode on Armchair Expert was great. Just hearing
Yeah.
about like his life and like Party Boy and the rest of this. And he
Yeah.
talked about getting fully into this role and telling his wife like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the middle of the Pacific Northwest for a while. Bear with me on this one." And she was like, go do it. And he completely dissolved into this character, which I thought was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Did he? He
No,
got a nomination, right?
let's make sure we get this right. No,
What?
he did not.
That is unforgivable. I have no faith in the Academy. No faith.
Yeah, it's Timmy, it's Leonardo, it's Michael B. Jordan, Magna Mora, and Ethan Hawke. I haven't seen Blue Moon yet. I think again, Ethan's probably done better stuff, and they're giving him one for this.
Yeah.
I heard it's a good movie, whatever else. That's painful.
That is really
That's
painful.
really painful.
I mean, not that
Oh,
those other performances aren't good, right? Because they are, but
yeah.
this one is really good.
I mean, it's nominated for cinematography, thank
Right.
heavens. It's nominated for original song, Train Dreams. It's nominated for Best Picture, like we just talked about, and writing adapted screenplay. It can win some things, but I hope for everyone listening, if you haven't watched this movie, please watch this movie.
Please. And then go
Well,
live your life.
and then go live your life. And we're going to wrap ourselves up there. You know, I had some things about biggest Oscar upsets of all time. We've already talked about what we have to talk about with Sinners. I don't see anything else really sneaking in there unless it is an F1 dad movie, you know, heist, if you will. But hopefully not. There's some great ones to watch. There's also a lot that was not nominated that you need to go watch. I will say No Other Choice that I just watched today. Pretty fantastic. Pretty
I need to see that one.
fantastic.
It's on my list.
So yes, lots to watch still. Tune in to the Oscars. We will post this episode a little before, and then we'll also post it and repost it again right before the Oscars so that everyone who wants to catch up on the films before watching can do that. We'll have everything linked in the show notes. And until then, watch good movies and TV.